So today we are talking about credit. Now, credit is something that not a lot of people really understand, and a lot of people also completely underestimate the importance of credit, especially in today's world, right? You can really be winning or losing depending on your credit situation. And there's multiple ways that you can increase it, which is what I'll go ahead and jump into. What I did for myself and what I would recommend a lot of people do, because it's really the easiest way to start, getting into the world of credit and boosting your credit, is getting a credit card. And I know right off the bat, a lot of you will probably be skeptical because you've most likely had people in your life telling you, that credit cards are a trap, that you get stuck paying interest, yada, yada, yada. Really, those are just for people who are financially ignorant. Those are gonna be the kinds of people who tell you that as well, because really, that only applies if you're irresponsible and bad with money. And if you're irresponsible and bad with money, you're in trouble anyway. So what it really comes down to is just having some discipline and not overspending with it, right? And really, there's ways to prevent that. Now, for instance, with me, a lot of people are also probably going to wonder, oh, I'm young, I'm 18, I'm 19, I don't even have credit, I can't get a credit card. Trust me, I know. I went through the same battle whenever I was younger. I just started applying for various credit cards and got declined because I had no credit. Well, I came across what is called a secured card. You're going to want to keep this information because this is pretty valuable. This is how you get into the world of credit, because it can actually be kind of hard now. So what you want to do is you want to get yourself a secured card, which is basically a debit card, right? I use Discover. I believe it's still available. It's called a secured card. And what you do is you send them X amount of money. I think with mine, it was $200. So you send them $200 and you basically use it as a debit card. Now, the way it works is, basically, after you've sent them the money, your max is only that much. So basically, if you spend the $200 and you don't pay it back, they just keep it. It was just collateral. However, if you're responsible with it and you're actually interested in using it to your benefit, what you would do is make your payments. And after, I believe, 6 months to a year, they'll give you that back and they'll graduate you basically to a real credit card. This is when you really get into the world of credit. Now, again, don't be irresponsible. Don't go out buying TVs or stereos or irresponsible shit. What you want to do is use it for everyday expenses. I used it for things like gas or snacks or dinners or date nights every once in a while. Really small expenses that really never exceed like $50, right? Because then it makes it easier to pay it off at the end of the month. And it's not really the amount you're spending that gets you the credit. It's really about how many times you pay it on time consistently. Me personally, I've never missed a single payment. And because I got this whole secured card thing and started my credit journey pretty early on in life, I have an excellent credit score, right? So, and I'll tell you why this is such a big benefit. Right off the bat, earlier last year, right, I had never taken out a loan for anything in my life. However, I was buying two cars, this one and my business vehicle, at the same time under my name, and my credit benefited me greatly. I don't know if you know anything about interest rates or how expensive cars can be. I was able to get less than 7% interest on both of my vehicles because I have almost a perfect credit score. That is a huge deal. Now, a lot of people don't understand how substantial that is. I know people my age who are stuck with like 20 to 25% interest on a sports car. That is absolutely unreal. That means basically if the car is worth, $20,000, now you're going to be paying $25,000 or $24,000 because of your interest rates, right? Now, if you have a better credit score, it means you have lower interest rates, which means you save a lot of money. The other benefit to having a credit card, eventually when you can upgrade to one with cash back or rewards, is you get paid basically to have it. I have a business credit card that pays me 2% cash back, right? Now, I get paid hundreds or thousands of dollars every single month. And really what that means is it's a statement credit. So if I owe $1,000 and I've spent a good amount that month, right, I might be able to save $200. Or if I've spent a lot more than that, it'll be 2% of whatever that is. And some people say, oh, 2%, that's not very much. Well, you're not here to get rich off of the 2%. What you're here to do is boost your credit and save a little money in the process. Because if you're already going to be spending the money on something, why not boost your credit, which will save you huge amounts of money in life when it comes to cars or real estate or really any kind of loan you can really think of, even IKEA or furniture or something like that, which you really shouldn't be doing anyway. But if you were, your interest rate has a huge effect on those kinds of things because it saves you a lot of money, or it could lose you a lot of money if you have a bad credit score. And so for me, it's pretty nice because not only do I have a near perfect credit score, and I've actually already used that to my advantage, I have saved thousands of dollars on loans because I have a great credit score. And now I have an increased limit, so I have better cash flow for my business, or if something comes up, I have the money to cover it. And on top of that, it's going to save me money in the future. And again, for me, it's pretty nice because, every time I spend money, I get 2%. Every time I spend money, I get to build my credit. So really, after watching this video, if you're not ordering one of these cards or planning on doing that, you're going to be missing out. I never use my debit card. Only for some reason, if my credit card was lost or locked up, would I ever use my debit card or cash. I don't use cash or debit cards for anything, because one, it doesn't boost my credit, and two, it doesn't pay me back, right? Like the credit card does. Now, some of you may be under the age of 18 or 19, I believe, which is the age to get a credit card here in the United States. You're wondering, okay, well, now I have to wait. Is there a way I can do this sooner? There is. So if you have good parents, if you have a good relationship with them and they trust you and you're responsible, what you can do is you can have them set you up as an authorized user on one of their credit accounts, one of their credit cards, and they can get you your own card. It has your name on it, everything. And basically, you would just write off of the back of their good credit. So if they have good credit and they're responsible with their money and then they're not like behind on payments, this would actually be kind of lucrative for you as well, because it gets you a jump start on the whole credit situation, which means if you want to buy a car at 19 or 20, like I did, you might have better interest rates because of it. So the moral of the story is you can basically get paid to own a credit card eventually. You can basically boost your credit score and save yourself thousands of dollars in the long run, if not way more, maybe even tens or hundreds of thousands, depending on what you do. If you get into real estate, what kind of cars you're buying, what kind of loans you're taking out. There is literally no con to boosting your credit. There is literally no con to getting a credit card unless you're irresponsible with your money, which is kind of your own problem. That's not the credit card's fault. That's your fault for being a bad spender, right? I've never missed a payment. So if you miss payments and you buy things you shouldn't be buying, and really the tip is, if you can't actually afford it in real life, don't buy it even with your credit card. Again, use it for small things. Be responsible. Don't go buy huge things with it, because if you can't afford to buy it cash straight out of your bank account, you shouldn't be buying it anyways. Just use it for small things. But at the end of the day, you really want to get a head start on your finances when you're young. You want to go ahead and get like a good credit score, start working on that. This is the best thing that you can possibly do, because it requires very little investment, especially after you get your money back and you're just using it on daily, like everyday things. You can also boost your credit score in the future, which again will save you lots and lots and lots of money. So if you want to set yourself up, I highly recommend you do that. I'm pretty sure Discover still does the secured credit card, and it really doesn't matter what age you are. Even if you're older and you have a terrible credit score and you're trapped underneath some debt already, you still have hope. Really what you could do is go ahead and start boosting your credit with a card like this, and then eventually, refinance on your loans. That's what a lot of people would do in this situation. And a lot of people will think that they're just stuck with the loan because they've already taken it out and they have bad credit. No, you can actually still increase your credit score, and you can actually start making a dent in that and start lowering your interest rates and start getting out from underneath it. Because a lot of people, the way they do get in trouble is that they take out loans that are way too big, or they spend $10,000 on Christmas and they can't afford that. And that's why they had to use their credit card to begin with. But again, there's multiple different options. I went with Discover. I'm sure basically every card brand you can possibly think of offers that. I believe you just have to be 18 or 19 to do that. That's whenever I did it. So again, if you don't start working on that now, if you're still using cash to pay for things and debit cards to pay for things in the near future, I don't know what to tell you.